Hello channel, welcome back everyone. Hope everyone's enjoying the international break. That's the only joke I could come up with for the international break. It's a load of rubbish, isn't it? Anyways, thanks again for watching. Decided to do something a wee bit different, video wise and just from a Sorare point of view as well. So we're getting into a Brighton collection. I don't know exactly how this came about. I think it was actually at the point where Sorare did that thing where it was like the decisives, and I really wanted a João Pedro for the under 23s, and then just end up going all the way for a collection. I guess Bart Verbruggen getting in as number one, it's pretty good as well. Anyway, in this video we're going to have a quick look at it because I don't play Premier League in season as well. It's got a wee bit of a sort of road to glory theme, so we're going to be starting in Division 5 and working our way up, hopefully, towards Divisions 2 and Division 1. I know it's not, the best road to glory series or whatever. There are guys like Harry Trades doing really good videos on that, and loads of other guys. I think Quinny sometimes does some stuff with Limited as well. So there's loads of stuff out there with road to glory series. So anyways, thought this would be quite nice to have a look at and just give me a chance to explain how I've managed to end up or why I've bought a Brighton collection. So first and foremost, I have got this up to 5% as well. So from that point of view, I need to pick up a Thomas McGill, but I'll add him in at some point. I really wanted a Bart Verbruggen. I did actually manage to pick him up without going to the auction, saved a few quid, which is quite good. Obviously, he's number one now for... I'm going to move myself here. Last time I did this, it just buggered up the whole video, so hopefully it doesn't bugger it up this time. Anyways, that's not much better, is it? But at least you can actually see me now. I don't know if that's an advantage or not. You don't need commenting that. So, Bart Verbruggen, number one now for Holland. Managers come in, done something a bit clever, just said, yeah, we're going to have a number one. So, sorry for Jason Steele fans or holders or whatever, but Bart Verbruggen's one of the best young goalkeepers around. So I really wanted a Bart Verbruggen. We'll look in a wee minute at the actual gallery and see how much it cost in total. Jason Steele get the backup. Tariq Lamptey's quite a talented player, but it's not really been playing too much. I thought Lewis Dunk was quite cheap. So it's only a couple of quid. Sometimes gets a game for England, etc. as well. Valentin Barco, obviously he's at Sevilla now, so I'll need to leave him unopened, which is a bit of a shame, but again, real talented player, wasn't really that expensive. I'll get some use out of him for the under 23s. Jump on Van Heck, no longer under 23s, but quite a good player, and we'll look once we come to the end at the stats for the coming weekend, and we'll get the team in as well, because competition is open. Pervis Estepinian, guy I really like, pretty good fullback. I wonder whether him, and Ferdi Kadioglu will end up starting there. Did watch the Brighton game against Arsenal as well, and was just really enjoyed watching them play. I mean, Arsenal away is not an easy fixture, as everybody knows. Joe Veltman, Billy Gilmore has now moved on. I'm going to move myself back down here because we've got a wee gap down here with Pascal Gross. I hope I don't go. The last video I did this, I ended up halfway on the screen, halfway not on the screen. So anyways, Ferdi Kadioglu, really wanted. Pretty cheap, attacking fullback. I think he'll do really well for Brighton. James Milner, Solly March, pretty good player. So everyone know that from FPL, etc. Just not really getting a game, but you never know, might move on to somebody else. Brian Gruda, really exciting talent. Julio Enciso as well, a player I really like. Guys like Jakob Moder, I mean, he's getting a game for Poland, so a wee bit of international utility there as well. Quaram Mitoma just looked so good against Arsenal. It was really good for Japan midweek as well, so getting that international usage. As all good Celtic fans, or as me as a good Celtic fan, I had a couple of Matt O'Reilly already, so I'm going to open one of my Matt O'Reillys that was in the Celtic collection and open it as Brighton. Real shame for him getting that injury, but it doesn't sound as if it's bad as might have been feared. I mean, obviously he's going to miss a good bit of football, but we're back pre-Christmas. Hopefully backfiring and do well. Yassine Ayari was playing for Sweden, so just the talent ID at Brighton's just absolutely crazy. It's just mad. That was the other reason I bought this collection as well. I was thinking a lot of these guys are quite young and can use them going forward. They can mix some into the under 23s maybe sometimes. Matt's Wi-Fi's a guy used to hold a rare of at Feyenoord, another really good player. Buonanotti's moved on to Leicester. I actually bought him. I think he was the first one I bought in this collection, thinking he was maybe going to Feyenoord. But still went to Leicester and he's doing pretty well there, and I'll be able to use him maybe with another team, either an under 23s or the English Premier League. Hinshelwood thought he was a bit of a weak link against Arsenal. If he is a converted midfielder, then it's probably why, to be honest. We've got Sarmiento, who I think has moved to Burnley. Might be wrong there, I'm trying to get mixed up. Ibrahim Osman, I know, has now moved to Feyenoord, so I'll try and pick him up. Hopefully he doesn't start a few games. João Pedro, really impressed with. I just think he's such a good player. Looks really good. Get called up for Brazil, so that's going to be an interesting one for next game. Might need to go a bit safer on the selection. Jorginho Rutter was a huge transfer. Spent a lot of money on him again, under 23s. Kuba Minty again was really impressed with him. Did have his rare. I seen him live for Celtic. He played against Celtic for Feyenoord. Came on, he scored. Looked a really good player. So pretty pleased to pick him up. Danny Welbeck doing pretty well. Seems to be getting a lot of starts. Evan Ferguson's just back in amongst the Irish squad, etc. So he's again a huge talent, like a guy who, is still only 19, but huge potential, and I really like Simon Adingra as well. Good player. So, anyways, that's all the guys I've picked up so far. Price wise, always good to have a look. It's not broken the bank or whatever, but let's have a look and see roughly what it's come in at. So a lot of these guys are quite cheap. I mean, Ferdi Kadioglu, 20 quid, so a wee bit more expensive. Milner, Welbeck, Hinshelwood, Igor, Welbeck was 9 quid, but he started the season pretty well. Dahoud, Solly March, cheap. Did pick up Ferdi Kadioglu, and I was going to open him in the Brighton collection and decided to buy a Brighton one. At that point, I didn't know the collection thing was opening this week, but anyways, I don't know if they definitely got the pictures for him. Ayari was only 5 quid, Webster very cheap. Baleba, 7 quid, Joel Veltman, 5er, Ferguson a 10er, so I think long term as a buy that's really good. Same with Adingra. Brian Gruda under a 10er, Matt Swifer a 10er, and Ciso 11, Minty 19 quid, bit more expensive but has been starting and averaging pretty well. Lewis Dunk really cheap. Then we've got Jason Steele's 3 quid, Billy Gilmore 7 quid. Verbruggen's big outlay here, so obviously overall spent about 200 quid or something, maybe slightly more than 200 quid. Matoma 20 quid was it's a steal. Van Heck was quite expensive, but again he's looking pretty good, pretty nailed to play in the centre. And Buonanotte I bought a month ago, but already up to quite a nice XP. And I've already got a Matt Riley, which I paid a lot for, but obviously, that's paid back at the time where I was doing all this sort of stuff with Celtic and, with the early access stuff in the SPFL special, so not really too sort of disappointed at that. So in terms of team fixtures for next weekend, quick preview of this. I mean, Brighton have got the third best fixture, really. I mean, playing Ipswich at home, which is a pretty good fixture. You expect them to score a few goals. So 2.25 XG, 47% clean sheet percentage. Goalkeepers easier to pick now, which is quite good. It's only really behind Liverpool at home and Man City at home, which is pretty good in the grand scheme of things. Now, obviously, I'm going to be getting into Division 5, but we'll come back to that. We'll pick a team as well. So, having a look, goalkeeper, I do have Pickford, that's why he's showing up here as well. Not that I would want to pick the sort of Everton defence at the moment. Yeah, Verbruggen's going to be getting in goals. So this is the spreadsheet by Sorare Probabilities, by the way. So it's a paid service. Sometimes people ask, that's a brilliant spreadsheet. Obviously, I've not designed it then. It's designed by somebody else. But yeah, it's really good because you can pull in your own players and also you can filter to like Premier League and Limited and get all these stats. So this stands out to me. John Paul Van Heck with a projected 98. I think he's away with Holland just now, so that's a nice compliment to him. Ferdi Kadioglu would be one of the picks I would be looking at round about there. Pervis Estepinian, probably a lot better than the average 40 just because he's not been playing his last 15 will dictate that. So Van Heck's looking good there. Matt O'Reilly, not showing up as injured here, but definitely, obviously, is injured. Matt Sweefer was injured as well, so probably going to be looking at running one mid, I think. Then we've got Danny Welbeck with 100 and João Pedro with 100 and Minty with a 69, which is a wee bit lower than I thought. I wonder why that is. I might kind of go against that slightly when I'm picking the selection. But anyways, so it's good that Sorare have got this open. You can kind of look forward and, you can start putting players in. So, I mean, I must admit, when I had a look at it originally, I wasn't sure it would start in Division 5. I couldn't remember whether or not I had actually been playing like any EPL in-season stuff. I had a team from last season. It turns out I didn't. But I don't mind, the prizes aren't, amazing. You're top $100 for first. We've got boxes there. We're paying out top 30 in Division 5. 50% get a box. So, it is what it is. Probably have a couple in Division 5 now because we'll be running, sort of Jordan Pickford team or whatever, second team as well. So, part of our Brighton, see, you've got this up to 12% already. So, it's looking pretty good already in terms of XP, which is obviously quite important. Defence there, we're looking at John Paul Van Heck. So he's a wee bit behind, so picked up Bart. I think he actually had a bit of XP on him already, which that's a nice tip if you're buying collections. Once you get to the point where you buy the cheaper guys and you're maxing out at 5%, sometimes good to have a look on the market, see what you can pick up from that point of view. Matoma, now the only interesting thing here is obviously he's coming off the back of playing for Japan. He started the first game and Japan do rotate a bit, so they might actually rotate again for second game, and maybe his minutes will be managed. There's some other options here, like guys like Brian Mbuemo, etc. But he's got Man City away, so that's a bit more difficult. I do quite fancy actually going for sort of double attack, so I could do I want to play João Pedro. I just got it in my head I want to play João Pedro, and I might just play Minty as well. Again, probably should be playing Welbeck, but I can play him in our team. Hope that Pickford doesn't concede 3 against Aston Villa. Who am I going to pick for captain wise? I think probably Pedro or Matoma, but fun wise, I'm just going to go with Matoma. Just capable of huge scores and stuff anyway. So there we go. I don't, up until this point, I didn't own anything Brighton related. I don't own any strips. Never really properly supported Brighton. I know all about obviously their sort of way of working, etc. Been buying guys for a while, just selling guys to Union St Galwaz and then move them over, etc. Really well run club. Spent a lot of money, but also you've got to remember that they've sold a lot of players as well. So people wondering how they can do it, but they've got a lot of money in for Caicedo, guys like that. So they've had a real good talent ID model of buying really good young guys. When I look at guys like Brian Gruder and the guys are bringing in, I mean, obviously, don't need to talk to me about Matt O'Reilly. I mean, the guys, I think he'll be really good, honestly. It's one of those guys where I'm quite confident that actually he'll probably move beyond Brighton, and that's no offence to Brighton fans. So I'm sure they're absolutely delighted to be signing a guy of that calibre. Sometimes people look at Scotland, it's only in the Scottish League, that sort of stuff. But, he's basically in the Denmark, he was in the Denmark national team, just having his breakthrough there. He's a guy who has really developed, he's played Champions League football, he's played Glasgow derbies against Rangers, all that type of stuff as well. So anyway, that's me pretty much finished what I wanted to say about Brighton. The other thing I've done here just recently is a really good result this weekend in the Pro. So actually, let's have a quick look at that. Let's hope there's no Opta shenanigans and things, but just sort of shows you the sort of power of in-season collections as well, just to sort of illustrate it a wee bit. So Challenger D1. So basically, these Seattle guys weren't expensive at all. Nobody was over like 50 or 60 quid each. Carles Gil was a bit more expensive and run him as differential. Although mainly worked because João Paulo didn't play, but $700 So about 540 quid or like €600 or something there. What's that got to do with Brighton and collections? Well, I just decided like this morning, like I would have a look and see what a Seattle collection would be like in terms of price. So I went in and just bought all of them. Some of these were instant buys, or most of them actually were instant buys. So cheap, it's unbelievable. So I've got like pretty much all guys. So I started with Rusnak there, and went all the way through. So unbelievably for like, I know the season's like almost finished, but Seattle have got like 3 home games in a row coming up at some point soon. One of them's a midweek. They're looking pretty safe in terms of getting in the playoffs. So with some ongoing utility, and then I've got the up to the will be the 5% once the next 2 buys go through an auction. So I'll have that up at the 5% collection score. But the whole thing, even though I was like overpaying and buying instant buys and everything, was about 35 quid. Like, 35 quid. Like, I spent more of that this morning. I went out and like, bought some things out of Asda and stuff this morning. It cost more than 35 quid. I don't think I get anything that significant either. So there we go. And then I have been playing a wee bit of Challenger. So from that point of view, I think I'll probably have a slightly higher entry level. So I was playing with Nashville and kind of got some of those teams up. So Challenger Limited. Yes, UI still can do. Yes, we've got Division 3, which is called Nash Gash. So we'll need to change that to Sleepless in Seattle or something. Let's change the name. Will not be Nash Gash, they'll be going somewhere else. Sleepless. I'm calling it Sleepless in Seattle because that's what the film was called, wasn't it? And last night I actually woke up, absolutely roasting, which is unusual in Scotland, and it was half time. Seattle were winning, the Columbus goalkeeper had been sent off and everything, it was all happening. So there we go. I mean, it's $200 for first place in Division 3, and that's Division 3 as well, So a couple of chances of getting that money back, hopefully with some of the games being home games for Seattle, and with them having a lot to play for, get a chance of going up there. So, people always ask me about, specific Sorare tips and collections and things. Yeah, I just think in general it's quite difficult with the XP. People are often maybe trying to merge in a classic card, or, they're trying to save some money, or, if goalkeeper's maybe a bit more expensive, they're buying a goalkeeper from our collection. You've got to think about all that stuff before you actually start buying a collection. Have a look at it, price it up, say, right, there are 5 or 6 main guys I want for the stack, how much do they cost? But also have a look and see how much it's going to cost to get you up to the 4 or 5%. It does actually matter a lot, and you'll see that often if you get the sort of optimal 5 guys for that weekend, or you've got a really good fixture against Ipswich or whatever, then if the team hits, that it'll be the guys who've got the collection first, have bought the whole collection, who get into the top places. Now, true story, when I played the SPFL special, there was one of the limited collections and I lost by half a point on the podium, and that was like a 200 quid difference. I can't remember exactly why. I was probably hadn't levelled up Liam Scales, or because I was using some level ups in our players, or I can't remember exactly why it happened. But anyways, basically half a point, and it was $300 of a difference. So, sometimes people are looking to save the max and all that type of stuff. I just went and bought a Seattle collection for 30 quid, just for fun. I think it was near 40 because I bought on instant buys and things. But I'll have some fun midweeks coming up. I'm just going to keep them for next season. I think the MLS will be decent next season. No Euros, no Copa America, no Olympics. There is like a Club World Cup, but I think there'll be a lot of focus on like the MLS, K-League, maybe even Mexico and things going through the summer. And, from Brighton point of view, they're just a fun team to watch. I'm going to watch them this season now. I'm not going to be expecting to win every weekend, but we can follow that team up through Division 5, see if we can win a bit of cash back. And, a lot of these guys will really suit my strategy of being under 23 players I can keep, I can use. But for Bruggen, I mean, he's a Dutch goalkeeper, so, I know that can be quite fluid, that situation, but, I don't think 70 quid's really that unreasonable for somebody of that general quality. Still be able to use them over the international breaks, etc. And now there's some specials popping up as well, where you need in-season cards. So it's quite nice to at least be involved with that. So anyway, that's 20 minutes of me talking about Brighton and Seattle. I never ever thought before starting in So Rare I'd ever be talking about any of this stuff. Look at my wall behind me. I'm even drinking a green can. I've got a green Sprite. Everything revolves around Celtic in my life, but I'm having a lot of fun. Having a wee Nashville collection, having a Seattle collection. Not so much Wheelsound because the manager's doing my tits right in. But anyway, that's another thing for midweek, which we're not going to focus on in this video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much again, guys, for watching. I hope you're going to follow along, see how the Brighton results go. If it's one recommendation I can make, if you do have a bit of like sort of fun money around or whatever, picking a good team like that, picking a team for whatever your own reasons are, if you're going to follow them, is always a bit of fun. Don't obsess all the time about ROIs and, always looking at your value, your collection every day or whatever. I get that. I do understand why people do that, and people sometimes play the game just to win. I totally understand that. But if you're able to spend a wee bit or even build up a collection every weekend or whatever over time after you've got your team, do it and try and enjoy it. And on that note, we'll end in customary fashion. It's got to involve Brighton though, so it's good luck and go fuck to Brighton against Ipswich. Cheers.